This is a session on new age technologies transforming the BFSI sector. And to deliver it, we would like to call on stage Sumnesh Joshi, Deputy Director General, Ministry of Communications and IT, Government of India, and the former Director of UIDAI, the Aadhaar thing. Can we have Sumnesh on stage?
Very good afternoon to everyone, and it's already late, so I will not take much of the time. And I heard the last speakers really great thing how we are shaping the BFSI sector. So what I will stress on, any technology or whatever we are doing is successful only when we have a proper ecosystem available in the market. So I always remember, long back, BSNL launched the IPTV. That time only 256, KB sort of broadband and no content, nothing. Product is same, which we are using right now everywhere in all the smart devices. So whenever we launch any application or service, the ecosystem should be ready. And I can say with proud that in our country, we have a very robust digital ecosystem is in place and we can innovate. We have already started innovating the product and services and we can do a lot of things. And India is a leader and we have showcased to the other countries also that how we can leverage this digital ecosystem. And of course, I will not go into detail, but yes, the digital ecosystem means it starts with the same digital identity. Many speakers have referred that Aadhaar. So you can verify online anyone 24/7 and it will act as a KYC, digital KYC. And so the first foundation and the second foundation, of course, based on this identity, the bank accounts. So that's now bank account is not, I treat as a product service. It is a foundation now. You can build many other financial products because initially when we talk about, all the SLBC meetings, that financial inclusion, that is the opening of the bank account. But now it is much more. It's not only the opening of the bank account. We have to provide many services in the banking, financial and insurance sector, anything that is related with the financial. So we have to use this as a second foundation. And third is how to deliver and how we are delivering. That is the connectivity, that is the mobile. So now we have 1.2 billion mobile connections. And again, not only the connection, you require a smart device also. So that device is also available and that too at the affordable price. It's not that a 40,000 rupees phone is required to consume the service. So now we have everything is in place. And other DPIs, some speakers have mentioned the account aggregator, right? Then e-sign, I was discussing with Anuradha that about still many of the entities are using the paper ink sign. They stress for the ink sign, but we have to shift, we have to think. So continuously we have to see which are the services, where are the gaps, where we can use this complete ecosystem and we can use this e-sign sort of thing. Then coming to already we have entered into the era of this presenceless, cashless, right, or paperless era. Now what we can witness new, right? And of course, the authentication is taking place and Aadhaar is one of the main authentication method. And there you are using the fingerprint and the iris and of course the OTP based authentication. Now face authentication has already been started, but still we have to see the power of that face authentication. So maybe this is the new thing that will come into the place because everyone is having the mobile smart devices, so one can capture the face and consume the services in the self-assisted mode. And it should be in assisted mode. So maybe assisted by a business correspondent or maybe in future assisted by some virtual assistant available in the app itself. So we have to design the product seeing what type of consumers we are having, what type of profile we are having of the consumers, because everyone is not tech savvy. And when I say the tech savvy, it doesn't mean that someone is have a degree in the IT or technological understanding. Right? My house help is much tech savvy in running a complex electronic washing machine as compared to say any other person in the house. Right? So that is different. Many students are using the mobile and we are using only mobile only for the WhatsApp and the voice. Even myself is not able to use every feature of this mobile handset. So it's tech savvy is something different. So it vary person to person. So face authentication, you please work on it and make more innovation in this, and using of course the DPI. So I'm not going to detail, but DPI we have to consume where everything is available, right from the account aggregator, e-sign, Bhashni, so you can use the language translation, etc. And already RBI Innovation Hub has come up with the public tech system for the frictionless credit. Now, what is the next new technology? So one is, of course, the face authentication is going to place. Now 5G and IoT, we are just, listening about the 5G. Now, what is the difference between 4G and 5G? See, as a normal consumer, maybe you are not able to differentiate the speed difference. Maybe 4G is also good and 5G is also good. But okay, for 5G, it's almost low latency. It's a real-time communication, almost real-time communication. So wherever in the financial sector, suppose the slight delay is matter, so we can use those type of technology. But the advantage is that IoT sensors, right, that includes the CCTV or maybe impact sensors at the ATMs, or maybe the environmental sensors, any sensor that we are using, maybe in any machine, etc., wear and tear. So those sensors can communicate directly with the 5G technology. So the coming era is going to witness the use of IoT in a major way and 5G. So we have to think that, okay, how we can shift our designs or architecture where we can consume the data generated by the IoT in all financial products. And if we have more data about a geography, more data about a person, more data about a machine, more data about any industry, you can again all you have already doing with respect to the customer, you are doing all the risk profiling, and he is my platinum customer, gold customer, or what kind of product he or she wants. So many things you are doing, but now more data will come in the form of the sensor, and where we can use this data to design our product and to analyze the risk. For example, some of the geographical areas, maybe some flood prone area. So maybe there the risk is something different. If you are giving insurance person who is in the flood prone area or earthquake prone area as compared to the normal plain area, so when you are insuring any product, service, home, anything, so that we can see. And 5G, because of it's a high speed, very high speed, so this augmented reality and the VR, so AR VR will come into the play. Right now, when we visit any of the bank branch, right, or any of the insurance or any of the BFSI sector entity, and we are giving the service in person and interacting, and not everyone has on that is expert in all the product and service. So we have a different counters also. Maybe multi-purpose single window is there, but they deal with certain kind of product. But for a specific product, we refer to the expert. But sometimes expert is not able what to do. Then actually you are losing the customer if suppose he or she will not turn up next day, right? So how to consume that opportunity or make it a service encounter. So if we have the AR or VR available, and entire thing is available, or maybe the virtual assistant on the VR form, we can, there's no need to have a person as an expert, but the machine will give the entire thing, and using the AR, all the dashboard will say, okay, you have these type of products already available, this is your expenditure pattern, you are going to save this much of amount, or maybe you can invest in the mutual fund or this. So all these things, you can guide in a better fashion to the customer. So everything will be the machine driven, right? And it will be helpful, and it's a win-win situation. And IoT, of course, many uses. So of course, all the lockers when you open in the banks, so it's not exactly the financial product, but yes, as a bank you are having this locker and people are using. So I can't say it's a financial product, but it's a product that banks are giving, and banks are responsible for that. So there also people are putting the important papers, etc. But we have to see that the commercial level should be perfect, or maybe something should not happen with those precious documents. So you can say that my digital vault is maybe the IoT equipped. So maybe the entire ambience you are in the real time you are maintaining that, yes. So So nothing will happen with your all documents, etc., or any other thing that you are putting into the locker. So this is just one layman sort of example, but in agriculture sector also, see, because you are giving loan to the farmers and you have to increase the productivity of the farmer. Why? It's not a banking job, but you have to take back the loan also. So if we earn more, then he is able to pay. There is no default, and more earning, then of course the account is with you. Of course, then one can invest in more financial products. So again, it's a win-win situation. So, and banks are having the agriculture officers already in place. I don't know in the private sector, but in public sector, there's a position of the agriculture officer. And further in the insurance sector, you insure all the vehicles, etc. So you can, with the sensor, find out what is the behavior of the driver, how he is driving the car or any vehicle, etc. That one can find out, or maybe by putting a sensor in the vehicle. Of course, everything with the consent. The caveat is whatever we are doing, we have to take the consent. Without the consent, we can't do any business. And the DPDP Act already, I think some speaker has put in a very strong way. So, but if we design all the product based on the entire data, we know that okay, this vehicle is running, maybe some driver is running maybe 100, then 60, then 50, then 70, 80. That type of behavior you can find out. That you can say, boss, I will give you the best insurance provided you have to be in this contour of speed, etc. There should not be no default, otherwise maybe some penalty or maybe we'll increase the premium. So again, it's a win-win situation that will force the drivers to drive the vehicles in a proper fashion. So, and again, many examples. You can think. Hello, yeah. So you can think about industry. See, when we insure all the equipments, right? So what happens if suppose equipment is running very well and timely upkeep of the machine, it's good for the insurance company and good for the company itself who is engaging all the sensors in that machine. Because what I observed, I was discussing with someone that if suppose there is some problem in the machine, the product that is coming out is the low quality. But by the time they realize maybe lots of quantity is gone, so they sell those quantity in the seconds, etc. They can't use it. So if we have a real-time communication, data in hand, so maybe immediately insurance company can also say, no, you have to call the person and repair it. Don't use that machine. So again, all these things, when we work in a team or in an ecosystem, it's really good for everyone. So we can generate more profiles with respect to risk, or more incentive we can give to the people. So more people will buy the insurance. Right now, the penetration, bank accounts are fine, but in the insurance sector or then further in the mutual fund sector, there's a huge scope, right? We have to reach across the country, even in the rural area. So we have to sell those products. Now, again, UPI, everyone is aware, everywhere, even we are transacting 2 rupees, 3 rupees using the QR code, and that information is going into the system. So now the term, everyone knows the information based lending. But still, we have to work on this, because still not many more products are available which are based on the information that is coming. And how you can use all street hawkers, vegetable hawkers, everyone is with the QR code, and of course they are having the bank account. You are getting the information. So the next point you can do that, yes, you have the information, so use your AI/ML algorithm, find out which are the best location, best sellers, and maybe can we give a low ticket loan to them, and not only give the loan, maybe you can act as a front end to onboard them on the ONDC. That is the new thing is coming in our country, and ONDC, Open Network for Digital Commerce. So if you onboard them, so again you can say it's not my job, it's not a financial inclusion, but you have to, because if again that person is on the ONDC, sale will increase, again income will increase, overall the economy will increase, and everyone, and bank will also get the EMI back. So we have to onboard them on ONDC, but you have the information also, so there is no harm. So give a low ticket loan, put them on ONDC, and they can start. And 2-3 more points that I would like to share, because the data explosion is taking place, right? Everywhere we are generating the data, not only from the sensors, or maybe everywhere, even in this hall, CCTV, what we are speaking, someone is recording, and then social media. And only thing that we are not able to analyze all these things. So someone can analyze it and can make out lots of things that okay, we can design something and make the life easy. But the other way, again, is the what we have to do that I think again the DPDP Act, the security of the data is also required. Someone cannot misuse. If the data goes into the bad hand, then again it will create a problem. And the model you are using in the AI/ML, what I have seen that sometimes if data used is not trusted or validated, your model is wrong, right? The output is not coming correctly because what data we are using is not correct. Because in day to day, when we see you are giving the product in the banking industry or in the insurance industry, sometimes for trivial things you are not giving the product. Sir, your name not matching. You are Sumnesh Joshi here. You are Sumnesh Trilokinath Joshi. Get it set right. I will not give the policy. It's not matching. Very small issues, maybe some spelling mistake. Everything is correct, but we are not able to give the product and service. So we have to find the solution for that also, how to purify the data. And we are talking about the automation using the generative AI or AI/ML. But if data is not correct, then what output we can expect from those machines? So again, problem is not going to solve properly. So we have to have a proper AI/ML model. So another thing that maybe data sovereignty, that everyone is aware. So that concept you must know, because in coming time, if it should not happen, but suppose any war happen, it is a digital war or the war on the data. So everything is electronically, so one can immediately can stop whatever you are doing. And recent the Microsoft mishap, everyone is aware. We don't know whether it's intentional or automatically it happened, but yeah, it is a threat. So the data sovereignty also we should have in our mind. So data privacy, how to store the data, and of course DPDP Act. So please visit your architecture, digital architecture, how you are giving the services, and take all the necessary action with respect to the act. So whenever the act will be implemented, any date, so you should not be in the trouble that yes, we are very well placed with this act, so or entire architecture. And I always stress on the architecture or the fundamentals, right? Technology may change, but your the drawing board or the fundamental or digital architecture should remain same and robust. So we have to think, maybe give more time in designing that. Maybe you revisit that, maybe all 360-degree. Maybe sometimes some pieces you think that are not useful for today, but it may be useful after 1 year or 2 years. So factor in all these things. Sometimes to save the cost, we compromise, right? Okay, because to plug in anything, what with my experience I have seen, it's very difficult, and sometimes we end up reinventing the wheel. So that I have learned from my experience, that we have to devote more time in designing and have a robust architecture, and in future also anything will come, we can easily integrate. So finally, it's really, I hope that this conference will be useful for everyone, and I will not take much of the time, and I just request that whatever new technologies are available in the form of now 5G, IoT, and one blockchain also, but that is again very, very important thing, because when we are transmitting the data, right, and because many, we were discussing just before my session, that we are giving the data to many third parties, right, or those third parties sometimes maybe some data distortion, or maybe whatever, any reason, not intentionally. So how to ensure that the what data you are giving is the same data? So the blockchain we can use, and all the encryption, etc., security, etc. So thank you very much, and I forgot to thank Rajneesh for inviting me here to share my experience with this August gathering. So thank you very much, and thank you, and all the best for this remaining conference. Thank you.
Can I request Shangomitra Mohanty, co-founder and director of APAC News Network, to felicitate Sumnesh?
I appreciate